Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're back. We are absolutely back. And this is the reason why. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your buddy, the 14th Prime. And today we are looking at Prime. For short, PRIMA, and his Star Saber. Let's get a look at the packaging first and foremost. Okay, so I'm liking that they have put the plastic cover back on our toys. No more weapons missing, no more heads missing. The side of the box, you get a shot of three of the primes there. You've got PRIMA, you've got Vector Sigma, and you've got, let me see, who is that? I can't tell up close. I guess Alphatron. I don't know. That's a question for later. But now, look at PRIMA and his artwork. Gorgeous artwork. Now, when we first saw this toy, it was in that sand color. Actually, the same color as the Age of the Prime's logo is. And it didn't look like it was finished. It didn't look like it was complete. It looked like it could have used some, extra paint. And I will still say, this is a rather creamy, grayish toy, but it works. The images and the pictures that we saw didn't really do it that much justice. Now, I'm not saying it's the most gorgeous toy in my collection by any means. But my thing was that, being that I am a huge Transformers collector, what sense would it make for me to have like Orion and D16 and Unicron and Primus, but not have the first Prime or the first Transformer? You know what I mean? Like, basically, he's like Adam. So getting him out of the packaging and taking him out of the old school rubber bands, looking at it, I'm like, all right, it's different. It's different. I had mixed feelings going into it. Again, because I complained that, like I said, the pictures that I saw didn't do it too much justice. And I was like, well, it turns into this like space Tesla truck, which is cool, honestly. What sold me was when I saw the shots of it in its hover mode. And, if you've watched the channel, I say this every time. If it's got a hover vehicle mode, I'm sold. But I saw shots of him. I think it was on Mark Clemens' Instagram page where he had him on a flight stick with the wheels flat out. And I was like, now that is cool. I'd keep it in that alt mode probably more than I would keep it in its space Tesla truck mode. Nothing against the space Tesla truck. It does look Cybertronian. It's a Cybertronian van. I mean, it is what it is. But it's different. No one else turns into that. And I love that they used the head sculpt from the G1 episode. Another reason I had to have it. Now, if you get the sword, you can see that his symbol is on the sword. Don't worry, my camera will not show it at the moment. There you go. Right there. Right there. And I'll do another close-up of that a little bit later on. Let's get into the toy, though. So here he is next to 86 Optimus. Not too bad. I was expecting him to be a little bit bigger, a little bit taller. He does feel hefty in hand. And again, he does look good. I love the colors on the sword. Actually, the colors do work on him. You get your usual... now, I'm not a reviewer. I have reviewed toys every once in a while, but I'm not a reviewer, so this will not follow the same, way that they do it. But yeah, you get the same bend, bend at the elbow, arms go up, you can split the legs. He's got these waist skirts, which do look kind of cool on him. I mean, you got to figure if he's the age that he was or whatever. As a matter of fact, let's look back at some of the information on PRIMA Prime, just so we have a better idea of who he is while you watch this. So he does have the Star Saber. The Matrix does go in his chest. It pegs onto the sword on either side. From other reviews that I watched, they were saying that it's an absolute pain. And there you go. Now you can see his little symbol of being the first Prime. But yeah, PRIMA, aka PRIMA Prime, is the first Transformer created by Primus. He was appointed the Warrior of Light and given the legendary Star Saber sword with the first Matrix of Leadership in its hilt. Chosen to lead the 13 against their eternal enemy Unicron, he and the rest of the 13 made the stewards of Prima's planetary form, Cybertron. It is uncertain what relationship Prima has, if any, to Primon, another early Matrix bearer. Now, that came off of Transformers Wiki. And of course, there's many other iterations of him. He did in Revenge of the Fallen. After the Fallen was caught lying to harvest a star from the system of life, he turned to the other primes and he made war on them in order to prevent the Fallen from harvesting the star. The retaining primes, including Prima, hid a key in the harvester inside of a tomb made of their own bodies and sealed it with their own essence of life. So yeah, he's been talked about for years. He was he was mentioned in Revenge of the Fallen. He was mentioned obviously in TF1, and the Covenant of the Primes, and that's where they got his like bland white with a little bit of light blue color scheme. Now, you do get your regular obligatory directions, in which they do show how to transform him into his hover mode on the direction sheet. Now I like that because a lot of times they leave that out or you just find out about it later. I don't remember if they showed it with Gears or not in the instruction sheet, but like Gears is one that his wheels flipped, all of his wheels fold down to form a Cybertronian hover car. Love that. I love that. So, but anyway, transforming him is actually quite a joy. It's kind of different. At the same time, it's familiar. The basic, fold the arms up this kind of way, separate the arms from the chest and the back. Now, that was what I found cool about it. If you have, I cannot remember her name, Shadow Striker. You remember her chest and her back separates from her head and chest. The arms are attached to the back as opposed to attached to the chest of the robot. Same thing with this guy. You snap him in half from the chest and the back, and his arms are attached to the back, and they form the front of the vehicle. Really intuitive transformation. The wheels are on the back of the legs, close in the gaps behind the legs, so that's awesome. They fold out on this ridiculous accordion hinge, but it's cool. It's very stiff, though. It's very stiff. A lot of the plastic on this toy is really stiff. The right kneecap on mine, maybe it's just my copy, maybe it's everybody's. The right kneecap on mine is solid. Like you got to put a little pressure on it to bend it, whereas the left one snaps out easily. But it's not. I'm not complaining. It's not like there's something wrong with it. I like a good stiff toy that I can pose when I make my videos. Now let's see how we go back to robot form. You're watching it right here. So you see how watch this. Watch how the wheels accordion in once you get the feet out. Take that wheel, bend it, shake it, bend it, shake it, bend it, and then, you know what I mean? And then it pops dead center. Now you can fold it in so it just resides on one side, but it's meant to go right down the middle. And there you go. See, like that. You can have it on one side or the other side, but it's meant to accordion in and just snap right there in the center. And there you go. So I was just scared to bend it because, like I said, a lot of the parts on here are very tight. And even that, like separating the legs. So then you spin them around at the waist. And you see what I mean? Like, see, the chest and the head are all on one piece together. And then the arms are attached to the back plate. And you'll put those wheels in, and then you spin the chest around. Come on. Get that out of the way. There you go. And then the arms and everything just attach right back to him from the back. You snap that in, undo the panels for the arms, get that hand there, and then swivel it around. There you go. And then the same thing on the opposite side. But yeah, it's pretty simple, but fun. It is fun. And he's different. He's just very different. And like I said, how could you not have the first Prime? You know what I mean? The 13, we'll have to see how that works out. I definitely do want Onyx because of the Centaur mode. The Centaur looks crazy to me. It's a triple changer, Centaur, robot, and the combined form of both. Solus, maybe. Megatronus, yeah, maybe. But yeah, definitely had to have Prima. I can't wait to see the rest of them. Alchemist looks crazy. I like how his glasses are, but I'm not necessarily sold on him for that reason, just because he's got a beard. though I do love robots with beards and mustaches. But yeah, this guy is definitely worth picking up. I found him at Walmart, and the dude Troy told me at Walmart that what they do, excuse me, they've got Waspinator, Air Raid, Firefly, or two of the Aerobots, Prima, Solus, and Waspinator. And what they do is that they're putting out like three of each every day, and that's it. After, you know what I mean? And then each, well, first thing in the morning. Now, also in his vehicle form, you can put the sword, and this is in the directions, directly in the front. You know, when I first saw this guy, I thought that there was something missing on the front, or that there was something else that needed to be done to the front. I didn't think it looked complete. Now having it in hand, again, if having it in hand and looking at other people's pictures makes a huge difference. In hand, it does look complete. Like it makes sense. Like I thought where those two blue knobs are, right below the windshield, I should say. I thought something should go right there. Now then I was looking at excuse me, the other toy from the 13 Prime, from the 13 Primes is coming out, and I can't. Is it Nexus? Yes, I think it's Nexus Prime, who is was the first combiner. Um, yeah, he was the first combiner. I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if they made it a way that these guys, and we didn't even know it, all could be transformed to form with Nexus to be like one big combiner. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of ports on here for no reason. Excuse me. There's a lot of primes we have yet to see. And when I put the sword in his in the truck mode, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if excuse me, pollen is heavy here right now. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if one, two, three, four, if you there was four bots and then Nexus was in the center, and then like these guys connected to him to form like some surprise combiner that we had no idea we were gonna get. Because if you look at like the different combiners for him, I mean not different combiners. If you look at the different components of Nexus, like they could pull it off. They really, really could pull it off. I could see, but like looking at the Nexus toy, I see that there's like a jet and some kind of missile tank and something with a jetpack. It's like a train, maybe a helicopter, some kind of plane. I don't know where Prima would fit, but it would still be cool. But back to Prima. Again, you see how easy this is to transform this guy and to get him back into his robot mode from the truck mode, straighten out everything. And yeah, like just everything is there's no huge backpack. Everything tabs up well. Everything lines up together. Again, check your local Walmarts. They're dropping every morning. If you're in the Georgia area, I know that. Georgia, Texas, Florida, and a couple other places, he has been spotted. But they're putting them out 3 a day. Prima, Solus, Waspinator, 2 aerial bot. Oh yeah, and Scrapper. Until they get their next truck. If you keep going in and they don't have it, then you got to wait for their next truck to come. But these guys are showing up 2.5 months early. Another reason why I do not pre-order. Not sometimes I do, but it's got to be a pre-order that I can cancel, and I need my money back that night, because this happens. If I had pre-ordered this on any other site or whatever else, I would have been told, oh yeah, you'll get it, April 30th, you know what I mean? Or May the 1st. Nope. Walmart. Day before yesterday. It's your boy, the 14th Prime.